Story time, story time, story time again. Story time, story time, story time again.
Hi, and welcome to Once Upon a Time, San Bruno Library's Cable Storytime. Today our theme is words. We'll be reading books about collecting words, books that use silly words, and books that help us learn new words. But today we'll start with our welcome song. Are you ready? Okay. We're glad you're here today. We're glad you're here today. Hi-ho the merry-o, we're glad you're here today. I am glad you're here today, and I hope you like the books that we're going to read. Our first book is called Max's Words, and it is by Kate Banks. Let's open it up. Max's brother Benjamin collected stamps. He had stamps of many colors and sizes. They had ragged edges and sticky backs. Others had places or buildings or flowers or trees. Benjamin spread his stamp collection across his desk. Everyone admired it. Max said, "Can I have a stamp?" "No," said Benjamin. Max's other brother, Carl, collected coins. He had coins of many sizes and values. They came from different countries. Some were silver-colored with rough edges. Others were copper-colored with smooth edges. They were all shiny. They had people and buildings on them and the year in which they were made. When Carl showed them around, everyone admired them too. Max said, "Can I have a coin?" "No," said Carl. Max wanted to collect something, but he wasn't sure what. He gave it some thought, and finally he said, "I'm going to collect words." "Words," said Benjamin. He laughed. "Very funny, Max," said Carl. Max began collecting small words like a, the, its, and, ate, who, to, and, but, was, in, on, our, big, you, see, day, all little words. He cut them out of magazines and newspapers, and he spread them across his desk. Pretty soon, Max found bigger words. Hungry, asked, through, alligator, crocodile, kissed. He cut them out and added them to the others. Max's collection grew rapidly. Max collected words that made him feel good, like park, baseball, dogs, hugs. He collected words of things that he liked to eat. Banana, pancakes, ice cream. He collected words that were spoken to him, like good morning, goodbye, go away. I wonder who said that to him. He collected his favorite colors, green, blue, brown. Max opened the dictionary and found words that he didn't know. He copied these on small slips of paper. Words like slithered, iguana. "What are you doing, Max?" asked Benjamin. "Let me see," said Carl. Max's collection grew too big for his desk, so he spread out his words on the floor, and he separated them into neat piles. When Benjamin and Carl arranged their collections in different orders, it didn't make much difference. But when Max put his words in different orders, it made a big difference. He put them in the order to say, "A blue crocodile ate the green iguana." Then, The blue iguana ate the green crocodile. Soon Max's collection of words spread into the hallway. Sometimes Max gave away a word or two. See you later, alligator. Have a nice day. There's the alligator going out the door. When Benjamin put his stamps together, he had just a bunch of stamps. When Carl put his coins together, he had just a pile of money. But when Max put his words together, he had a thought. Maybe I could trade a word for a stamp or a coin. No, said Benjamin. No way, said Carl. I've got 1,000 stamps, said Benjamin. When I get a few more coins, I'll have nearly 500, said Carl. And when I have a few more words, I'll have a story, said Max. A story takes a lot of words, said Benjamin. I know, said Max. You don't have enough, said Carl. Let's see, said Max. Max sorted through his words. He picked out a few and began arranging them on the floor. Once there was a little brown worm who wished to be a big green snake. There's the snake and the worm. Benjamin and Carl stopped what they were doing and came over to look. Max continued his story. The worm slithered through the grass. It stuck out its tongue and hissed loudly. There's the worm. Max stopped to choose some more words, but Benjamin butted in. Then along came a big, mean green crocodile. Then it was Carl's turn. I'm hungry, it said. Benjamin grinned. He chose a few more words. The crocodile opened its mouth wide and... Carl scrambled for more words. He wanted the crocodile to eat the worm, but Max was quicker. The little brown worm darted down a hole, glad to be a worm. Whoosh! Down he went, escaping the crocodile. Hey, I want another story, said Benjamin. So do I, said Carl. And I want a stamp and a coin, Max reminded them. Oh, all right, said Benjamin, and he gave Max a stamp. Carl gave Max a coin, and Max gave them each some words and kept the rest for himself. Once there was a big brown dog. The end. They started working on a new story together, didn't they, with all of those words? That was Max's Words by Kate Banks. In that story, Max uses a dictionary to find words that he doesn't know yet. Another big book of words is called a thesaurus, which you use to look up words and find words that mean similar things. For example, if you looked up mother in a thesaurus, you might find the words mommy or mama or parent listed. Well, now that you know what a thesaurus is, we're going to read our next book called the Souris Rex, and you try to figure out why it's called the Souris Rex, okay? It is by Leah Steenberg. All right, let's get ready to read this one. The Souris Rex starts his day, stretching, reaching, extending, bending. Uh-oh, his pants need mending. Oh, look, they split. The Souris Rex drinks his milk. Sip, sup, swallow, swill. Whoops, he had a messy spill. The Souris Rex goes exploring, hunting, searching, foraging, poking. Splish, splash, his feet are soaking. he went in the swamp and got all wet. The Souris Rex likes to play, frolic, rollick, frisk, and romp. Wow, he's found a muddy swamp. The Souris Rex starts to slip, slither, skid, slide, and glide. Whee! What a speedy ride! The Souris Rex lands in the mud, slime, slush, mire, and muck. Oh no! Now he's stuck! He landed in the mud. The Souris Rex calls his mom. Howl, yowl, squeal, and shout! Oh, he's stuck. Whoosh, plop, she pulls him out. Phew, he's not in the mud anymore. The Souris Rex must get clean. Wash, bathe, and scour and scrub. He's left muddy footprints in the tub. The Souris Rex is ready to eat. Munch, crunch, nibble, gnaw. Chomp! He likes his dinner raw. Oh, look, he's eating watermelon. The Souris Rex leaps into bed, bounces, jumps, springs, and flies. Tomorrow holds a new surprise. The Souris Rex is all wrapped up, bundled, covered, tucked in tight. He'll have happy dreams tonight. Aw, look, he's going to sleep, and he has a little stuffed dinosaur to go with him. The end. That was the Souris Rex, written by Leah Steenberg. Did you figure out why this book was called the Souris Rex? That's right, the writer used lots of words that mean the same things. Remember, like on this page, he went exploring, hunting, searching, foraging, and poking. Those words all mean something similar to each other, don't they? Or on this page, he drinks his milk. He sips, sups, swallows, and swills. So that is why the book was called the Souris Rex. Maybe you can make a list of words that mean the same thing, the kind of list that you might find in the thesaurus. Well, that is our last book for this part of the show. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
What are you doing here?
You're John McEnroe.
Here to get my dog neutered.
I would never do that to my dog.
You cannot be serious. Neutering is good for his temper. And it's the most important thing you can do for homeless animals. Did you know that shelters have to kill more than 4 million animals every year just because there's not enough good homes out there? I can't have that on my conscience. Can you?
I was actually talking about the outfit.
What, you don't like it?
It's ostentatious. Sorry.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them.
How about this one?
Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon. Robot enemies explode and limbs fly off.
Maybe that other one's better.
Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
Yo tenía 42 años cuando una mamografía me ayudó a encontrar mi cáncer del seno y salvó mi vida. Mamografías pueden detectar cáncer en una etapa temprana cuando es más tratable y ha ayudado a reducir muertes de cáncer del seno por cerca de una tercera parte. Expertos recomiendan que mujeres de 40 años comiencen mamografías anualmente. Hable hoy con su doctor sobre la mamografía.
La mamografía salva vidas. Una de ellas puede ser la suya.
My grandpa said he had to do something very important. Grandma had to go out for just a little bit.
The CDC recommends that all seniors get out for their flu shots.
She'll be right back.
So be sure you protect yourself against influenza.
Nana always hurries home.
After all, it's important to a lot of people.
When Grandpa gets back, we're gonna wrestle.
Be smart. Be well. Get your flu shot.
Here it comes.
A public service message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, and welcome back to Once Upon a Time, San Bruno Library's Cable Storytime. We have some more books about words. Our next one has a lot of silly words in it and a lot of rabbits, too. It's called 1, 2, 3, Oops! By Michael Coleman and Gwyneth Williamson. Let's get started. Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit had a big family. A very big family. A very, very big family. I wonder how many bunnies we have, said Mr. Rabbit one morning. I think I'll count them today. Why not wait until later, said Mrs. Rabbit. I would. Nope, said Mr. Rabbit firmly. I'll do it now. He went outside to where the bunnies were playing. Mr. Rabbit started counting. 1, 2, 3. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, he exclaimed. With a hop and a skip, the bunnies he'd been counting ran off to join their brothers and sisters, and he couldn't tell which ones he'd counted and which ones he hadn't. Mr. Rabbit started again. This time, he got a little further. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, boodle doodle, he groaned. The bunnies had started a game of tag and he'd lost count again. Mr. Rabbit tried one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, boodle doodle, grizzly wizzly, he groaned. The bunnies had started playing hide and seek. Now he couldn't see any of them, and he'd lost count once again. This is no good, said Mr. Rabbit. I'll have to think of a better way to count bunnies. So he sat and thought, and he had a good idea. I know, he said. I'll give a carrot to every bunny I count. That way, I'll see the ones that I've missed. So Mr. Rabbit started counting again, and this time he handed a carrot to each bunny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, boodle doodle, grizzly wizzly, sniffy whiffy, he cried. The bunnies he'd given carrots to had eaten them. He couldn't tell which ones he'd counted and which ones he hadn't. Then Mr. Rabbit had another idea. I'll tell them to sit down when I've counted them. That way I won't get them mixed up. So Mr. Rabbit told his bunnies to sit down once he'd counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, boodle doodle, grizzly wizzly, sniffy whiffy, jingle bingle, he shouted. He was so frustrated. The ground was full of prickly weeds, and just as soon as the bunnies sat down, they jumped up again, and Mr. Rabbit had lost count once more. Mr. Rabbit thought, and finally he had another idea. I will send every bunny I count indoors. The ones outside will be the ones I haven't counted yet. I can't possibly get mixed up that way. So Mr. Rabbit started counting again. This time, every bunny he counted was sent indoors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops! Oh, noggin sploggin, boodle doodle, grizzly wizzly, sniffy whiffy, jingle bingle, fuddle duddle, yelled Mr. Rabbit, stamping his foot. Boy, was he mad. He'd forgotten that their home had a back door. Every bunny he'd sent in the front came out the back way. He'd lost count once again. Mr. Rabbit wouldn't give up. He sat down once more and thought all afternoon and all evening. Then he noticed a patch of mud on the ground and had his best idea yet. I've got it, said Mr. Rabbit. I'll put a dab of mud on the tail of every bunny I count, and then I'll know that the bunnies with clean tails are the ones I haven't counted yet. I can't possibly get mixed up that way. So Mr. Rabbit began to count once more. Every time he counted a bunny, he put a blob of mud on its tail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops! Oh, noggins, bloggin, boodle, doodle, grizzly, whizzly, sniffy, whiffy, jingle, bingle, fuddle, duddle, jungle, bungle, he roared, jumping up and down. It had started to rain. All the blobs of mud he put on the bunnies had washed away. He'd lost count yet again. I give up, said Mr. Rabbit, and he stomped angrily back indoors. I'll never be able to count all of our bunnies, he cried. At that moment, Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's bunnies scampered back inside. Tired and happy after playing all day, they were soon fast asleep. I told you to wait till later, said Mrs. Rabbit. Now try counting them. So Mr. Rabbit began counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he cried. I've done it. Oh, no, you haven't, said Mrs. Rabbit. You still have to count the little ones. And look at those little ones are not sleepy at all, are they? They're bouncing all over the place. That will be very hard, won't it? The end. That was 1, 2, 3, oops. I hope you liked that story about rabbits. Let's do a finger play together, okay? One that has rabbits in it. Can you make some rabbit ears? Let me see you make some rabbit ears. And a little nose, a little rabbit nose. That's very good. Can you nibble with that mouth? Make a little mouth that nibbles. Good. And then you hop. All right, let's put all of that together. Are you ready? Okay, let's try. My rabbit has 2 big ears and a funny little nose. He likes to nibble carrots and he hops wherever he goes. Oh, that's good. Let's try it one more time, and then you can do this at home all together. My rabbit has 2 big ears and a tiny little nose. He likes to nibble carrots and he hops wherever he goes. That was great. All right, let's read our next book that has silly words in it. It's called Ungabunga by Frida Wyszynski. Nobody could make baby Louise stop crying. Her mother tried. She held her close and sang a little lullaby, but that didn't help. Louise kept on crying until her tears ran like rivers to the sea. Her father tried. He rocked her gently in his arms and whispered softly in her ear, but that didn't help. Louise kept on crying until her wails shook the pictures off the walls. Grandma tried. She gave her a nice warm bottle and said, "Eat, eat." But that didn't help. Louise kept crying until her sobs woke all the dogs and cats on the block. Meow, 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 woof, woof, woof. Grandpa tried. He played a happy tune on his harmonica and did a little jig. But that didn't help. Louise kept on crying till the birds flew out of the trees and the squirrels scampered away. Wah, wah, she cried. The neighbors came and offered advice. Turn her on her stomach. Turn her on her side. Play Mozart. No, play rock and roll. But nothing helped. Louise kept on crying. Then her brother Daniel came home from school. "Ungabunga," he said to Louise. Louise looked up, tears streaming down her face. Ungabunga, he repeated. Louise stopped sobbing and looked at him straight in the eye. Ungabunga, said Daniel again. Louise broke into a smile. How did you do that? Asked his mother. It's easy. You just say Ungabunga, said Daniel. Ungabunga, said his mother. Ungabunga, said his father. Ungabunga, said Grandma and Grandpa. See, said Daniel, she likes it. And sure enough, she did. Louise was smiling from ear to ear. Ungabunga, everyone said in unison. I'm going out to play, said Daniel. Be back at 6 for dinner, said his mom. But as soon as he left, Louise's smile faded. Slowly a tear rolled down her cheek, followed by another and then another, and soon she was crying as loudly as before. Ungabunga, said her mother. Ungabunga, said her father. Ungabunga, said Grandma and Grandpa. But nothing helped. Louise kept on crying. What's wrong? Said Daniel. Ungabunga doesn't work anymore, they all said. Wah, 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 cried Louise. Daniel leaned over Louise and whispered in her ear, Bunka wunka, Louise. And Louise stopped crying. The end. Did Daniel have a special trick? Was it his silly words or was it Daniel? I think it was Daniel. But the silly words are fun too, aren't they? It's fun to talk silly words to a baby. Maybe you can make some up the next time you see a baby and play together too. Well, it was very nice reading to you today, and we hope that we see you at the Storytime at the library sometime. We have Storytime 3 times a week for all different ages, and we even do one that's in Spanish and English. It would be really nice to see you at one of those Storytimes. You might be able to see me or Miss Rocky or Miss Barbara do Storytime. We'd be happy to see you and say hi. We hope to see you there. But for right now, we're going to say goodbye and sing our goodbye song. Are you ready? Okay, let's get our clapping hands together. Well, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. Well, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. Well, it's time to say goodbye. Make a smile and wave goodbye. Well, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. Bye-bye. Hope to see you at the library. Come say hello to me. Bye.
So sit me down and let the spell begin. I'll find myself in story time again. Story time, story